Welcome to Piano Video Lessons. I'm Lisa, and this is the final lesson for Bourree by Christoph Graupner. It's a grade 1 level Baroque style piece, and we're learning in this lesson to polish up the piece so we can add it to our repertoire list. This is Unit 9 at pianovideolessons.com, and it's also Unit 2 of Year 2. You can click the info card to come on over to pianovideolessons.com where you can get the ebook and the index of all of the lessons. So, Bourree. We want to play it at an appropriate tempo, and it says allegro vivace, which means quick and lively. So we want this piece to have energy. This would not be allegro vivace. This would be andante, which is a walking speed. So now we want to pick it up. You want to listen for a tempo that sounds a little bit lively, that's going to pull us through. We also want to add some character and flavor to this piece. So we want it to sound like a bourree, which means we want to really feel the one. So we want to have a 1, a 2, and a 1, a 2, a 1, a 2, a 1, and a 2. We want to feel that one. We want to feel that downbeat for each of those measures. And that'll just give us that real pull for the dancers. We also want to memorize the piece, and so we're going to pull it apart and see how we can put it back together in a way that gives us a full and effective memorization. So in order to get the tempo going, what can we do? Well, one thing is we can practice slowly. If we are not able to play it andante or slowly, we probably cannot play it more quickly. And if we have areas where we're still working on trying to get those leaps, we still cannot go any faster than that. If there's a place where you feel a little bit impatient or not impatient, a little bit worried that you might not land the notes, and you're like, whew, I got it. You're not ready to go faster. You have to walk before you can run. So play it just comfortably until it wants to speed up. You may need to play it a lot of times before it's ready. Your hand needs to be comfortable on all of the notes. And especially on these jumps where we have to move up to different positions and play all these black keys from white to black, playing in the melodic minor. There's a lot going on here. So practice it slowly, practice it a lot. Be relaxed when you play this piece. If you feel like you're in a rush, then you won't be able to play quickly. If you want to be able to play quickly, it first needs to feel easy. It needs to feel easy at every tempo. So continue to bring your tempo up faster as you can, making it easy. Now, also playing that beat number 1 a little bit heavier is going to give you a sense of movement. It's going to pull you into that next beat, next measure. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. The more you feel that 1, the easier it's going to be for you to play into the next measure with some speed. But I can't stress enough that you can't play anything quickly that is not able to be played slowly. So please practice this in sections, line by line, A section and then B section, as many times as you can to get it really comfortable before speeding up your tempo. Now, to memorize the piece, it's important that we don't just let our fingers do the memorizing, because our fingers don't have brains. And if we want to play it accurately, we need to use our actual brain when we play. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull a piece apart and put it back together again. And one of the things that we can do when pulling it apart is we can work in sections. So we could call this section 1. I know it's at the end. This is section 2. Then we can have section 3, and then section 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play just section 1 right now. You might want to write in finger numbers if you're not sure where that drops in. In fact, you know what? Let's move section 1. Let's move it here because we're starting on the upbeat. So this is just a continuation of section 1. So finger 4 is where we're starting, and finger 3. So we don't have to write in anything at all. We're going to have your 4 here and your 3 here. So section number 1, last part of the piece. you should be able to just start playing right there. And you should also be able to play just the left hand. In fact, you should be listening to what that left hand is doing. It's got its own little sort of counter melody happening in there, so just listen to it. You should do that for all of the sections. Now the right, we're used to hearing that. But this is where it goes different. There's a star here. So we're going to make sure that we know what each hand has to do, and then we're going to try it without looking. So here I go, watching my hands on the keys to see where they're moving around to. Thinking, I need to go to G. Oh, look, they're both going to G. And then I'll reach an octave. And then D, down, down. So I noticed something. I saw the G's coming together there. Both hands on G, and then reach down, down, down. So when you put it back together, look for the patterns. Watch what your hands are doing on the piano keys. Don't be looking into the page. Look on the piano keys. Look up when you need help. Another thing that's fun to do is put your music somewhere else completely and try to play it. And when you get stuck, instead of just glancing up, stand up, walk across the room, find the music, look for the thing that you got wrong, and then go back to the piano and play again and see if you can remember by studying away from the piano and coming back over. So what I'm trying to encourage you to do is look for different modes of memorization. So I don't want you just to have finger memory or tactile memory. I want you to also have memory that's analytical. So by studying what's going on in the music, we can, look for directions, look for sharps and flats, look for how the hands are compared to each other. We're using our brain to put this piece together. We also want to have oral memory. So we want to know what the left hand sounds like by itself. We want to know what both hands sound like together. We want to have a sense of the sound for the piece. And then there's that visual component of the memory where we're seeing both what's on the keyboard, how we're executing those notes, and also what it looks like on the page. So we want to be able to, train ourselves to memorize this piece in depth. Now we can go back and do section number 2. So it starts here with 4, and it's going down and down. And then it's going up in the right and down in the left. So play just that left hand. That's kind of cool. It's got a C natural, then it's got a C sharp. And here we've got just down the notes, but then coming up, we change them. And we put that back together. The left is going down, and then we've got all of that going C sharp here. All right, so we've got that melodic minor. Again, we'll learn about that in grade 2, but we've got B natural, C sharp, and that's a little hint of what's going to happen in the melodic minor. All right, so work on section 2 until you've got it memorized, and then play both of those sections from 2 to the end. We're working by memory here. Stop if you need to think. Oh yeah, that's what it does. Now, moving up to play that last part. Stop and think. Oh yeah, G's. So I'm encouraging myself to be accurate by allowing time to stop and think if I need it. Now I can go back to section 3 and play this part. So we're playing just section 3 in an isolated fashion. And we'll just do that one again. It's quite a lot like section 1. This is all like section 1. And then here we have a B flat. Oh, B flat. So my oral memory told me that A flat was not B flat. I was looking up and I missed the note. So we'll do it again. Now that's where it's different, crossing and ending on F. So another thing that can happen is if you're making a mistake, you can comb it out by fixing it 4 times instead of just the once. So I would, if I was practicing this piece and had made that mistake with that A, I would practice that again 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, just to really train myself what that feels like. Then I'll play section 3 to the end, and then I'll go back and do the same thing with section 4, practice it in isolation, and then add it into the entire piece. I think what you'll find about working in reverse sections like this for memorization is that it also has you playing into continually more familiar material, since we started with the end, and then we keep playing the end every time we back up. Alright, so if you memorize this piece and you also play it with a good tempo and you add that 1, 2, 1, 2, you're going to really have this Bourree really well learned, and you'll be ready to add it to your repertoire list as a piece that you can add into the rotation that you keep on playing on a regular basis and reviewing. So I'm going to play this piece for you again, and I'm going to invite you to join me in Unit 10 for the classical grade 1 repertoire for RCM, and that's coming soon. In the time that you're watching this video, if it's just been published, you're going to have to wait a month or 2 for that next unit as I prepare it, but if you're watching this in the future, it might be ready already. Alright, so here I go playing for you with flavor and appropriate tempo, memorized, and with good articulation and dynamics and a steady tempo, the Bourree by Christoph Graupner.